military has piled on more charges against ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi. They've accused her of bribery, an allegation her lawyer has slammed as groundless and illegal. State TV reported to show a prominent businessman saying he paid Miss Suu Kyi over $500,000 in bribes between 2018 and 2020. Property developer Mongwei claimed he delivered the payments to her private residence. Besides bribery, Ms. Suu Kyi also faces charges of illegally importing talkies and violating COVID-19 rules. The U.S. is stressing the importance of trilateral cooperation with Japan and South Korea in ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific. Seoul and Washington have held a 2+2 meeting between their foreign and defense ministers. It's the first such gathering since 2016, as the Biden administration seeks to rebuild alliances. In a joint statement, they pledged coordinated strategy on North Korea. Washington has also promised a policy review on Pyongyang in the coming weeks. The Council gets more on the other issues that were discussed.
The South Korea's Foreign Minister Chung Eun-young was started off making statements about the strong traditional alliance that they have and that to make progress with this alliance. And he was saying that he was hoping that this would lead to a summit meeting between the U.S. President Joe Biden and the South Korean President Moon Jae-in. And so his statements were really focused on this bilateral alliance and the traditional ties between the United States and South Korea. Whereas when you heard the Secretary of State Blinken talking and giving his statements, he was talking about this bilateral alliance, but also on a broader sense about the trilateral cooperation together with Japan. And yes, definitely North Korea is a major threat for South Korea and this region right now, but the U.S. keeps emphasizing about the threat for China too. And so I think that is something that the South Korean side is going to be picking up and will be aware of, because this is something that they will have to deal with.
Meantime, all eyes are on Alaska, where the U.S. and China will sit down for their first face-to-face talks under the Biden administration. China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi will be meeting U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken over the next 2 days. Despite Washington's criticism of Beijing's moves over Hong Kong and the South China Sea, Chinese officials say they hope the dialogue will be constructive and rational. But they insist China won't compromise on core interests. Patrick Falk reports on what China is hoping to achieve from the meetings.
Well, the U.S. has stated that tariffs are not a particular area of focus for these talks, but that will surely be one area where China will be hoping the U.S. will budge on, however small that extent may be. I remember one said there can be no cooperation unless the U.S. remove tariffs and some of the sanctions leveled at Chinese officials. It seems that there's very little likelihood of that happening. For all of Joe Biden's criticism against his predecessor, he has so far continued to collect tariffs. His administration has made it clear that it expects Beijing to stick to the Phase 1 trade deal and really hasn't shown much difference in its approach on trade. It's worth mentioning these fresh sanctions on Hong Kong could also set the two sides on a collision course. China only recently pledged to speed up legislation against what it views as America's long-arm jurisdiction. These sanctions are going to put multinational businesses in a very difficult position because they may be forced to pick a side.
Headlines anytime at CNA.Asia. It's Asia Business on CNA 9/3. Good day, everybody. More than 98,000 employers will receive 940 million Singapore dollars in wage credit scheme payouts by the end of the month. This brings the total amount in wage credits paid out during the pandemic to over 2 billion Singapore dollars. The government will co-fund 15% of qualifying wage increases given between 2017 and 2020 to more than 800,000 Singaporean workers, earning a gross monthly wage of up to 5,000 Singapore dollars. Employers do not need to apply to receive the payouts. Those eligible will receive letters from IRAS informing them of their payout amount, which will be credited directly to their registered bank accounts through PayNow Corporate or Gyro. OCBC will roll out facial recognition technology on 8 of its ATMs starting tomorrow. The bank says it'll tap on Singapore's national digital identity infrastructure, SingPass face verification, to securely verify customers for transactions without the need for ATM cards. Customers select their ATM service before entering their NRIC number. The camera will scan and verify their face against the national biometric database of 4 million Singapore residents. The OCBC's move makes it the first in Southeast Asia to deploy the technology. For now, the service will be used to check account balances. It will progressively include cash deposits, funds transfers, cash card top-ups, and credit card bill payments. OCBC plans to eventually extend face verification to all of its 550 ATMs here. Asian stocks bounce back from